Hello everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're here with us. Okay, let's dive into this. Today we're talking about something super simple but incredibly strong. The core theme from our source materials is the power of a promise. We're going to see how a simple promise can actually change history, build amazing teamwork, and bring real hope to society. We often wonder how big changes actually start, right? We kind of think it takes tons of money or power. But let's find out what actually makes reality move.
So here's a huge question for you. Can one single promise completely change your life and maybe even change the world? I know, it sounds straight out of a movie, doesn't it? But our sources today show us that this is a very real thing. It happens in real life when normal, everyday people decide to take action. Big events in history often kick off with just one person making a firm decision in their head. They just decide they won't accept things the way they are. They decide to make a promise.
To really get this, we have to look at the difference between a wish and a vow. A wish is kind of just hoping for something good to happen. You look up at the sky and wish for a better day. But a vow is changing that simple wish into a rock-solid promise to take action. When you make a vow, reality actually starts to move because your actions change. You don't just wish for a good day, you literally decide to make it a good day. You take real steps, you change your daily habits. A vow has this deep power because it comes with hard work.
Section 1. Local History. Osaka, Japan, 1956. Let's move to and see others build with a true story about the amazing power of one person.
Back in 1956, a young leader went to Osaka. The sources say he didn't just stand up and talk to massive crowds in some huge hall. He did something way harder. He met with individuals. In fact, he met about 8,000 people, literally one by one. Just think about how much time that takes. Think about the energy required for that. He wrote letters, he listened to their everyday problems, and he gave them hope when they were feeling really down. He made a vow to help the city, and he started by talking directly to the people who lived there.
And he had a crystal clear plan. He made absolutely sure to meet the most sad and poor people first. He went straight to the folks who needed help the most, instead of focusing on the rich or the powerful. So why does this matter? Well, it shows us that big changes do not start from the top. The fight for a better world starts with one person helping another person right there on the ground. When the people at the bottom feel strong, the entire community becomes strong.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is a specific quote from the records back then. Each member is the starting point of everything. This leader cared deeply about every single person. He firmly believed that each person has the power to change their own situation and to help others. One strong heart can truly light up a whole room. When one person makes a promise to live a better life, they inspire their friends. Then those friends inspire their families. The idea just spreads like wildfire.
Section 2. Building strong teamwork. Helping one person at a time is the very first step. But to make a big change in society, people really need to work together as a team. Our source text shares a very old, famous rule from traditional Japanese woodworkers. These workers are called miyadaiku. They build these incredibly strong wooden buildings that can last for hundreds of years, even in terrible weather. We're talking about beautiful temples and towers. So how do they do it? Well, they follow a very special rule all about understanding their materials and understanding their team.
And this brilliantly illustrates their secret. First, to build a strong tower, you must assemble the wood. Second, to do that well, you must understand the nature and the exact shape of each piece of wood. Some wood naturally bends to the left, some bends to the right. But the third and fourth steps, they go much deeper. To assemble the people who actually build the tower, the leader must unite their hearts. Without uniting people's hearts, the building just won't be strong. Teamwork is all about understanding each other completely. You have to know your team's strengths and weaknesses, just like the wood.
Section 3. Global Action. The World Today. This beautiful idea of uniting hearts is definitely not just for Japanese woodworkers. It works everywhere around the globe. For example, in Africa, there's a famous concept called Ubuntu. It simply means, I am because we are. It's the powerful idea that we only exist through our connection to other people. We're never truly alone. We need each other to be human. If my neighbor is sad, I can't be fully happy. We are all connected in one big web of life.
The great leader Nelson Mandela believed in this deeply. During a time of terrible division, anger, and sadness in South Africa, he used this exact idea. The source articles explain that by believing we exist as humans only through others, people worked to build a rainbow nation where people of all colors could live together in peace. They actively chose to unite their hearts instead of fighting. It was a massive, collective promise made by a whole country to forgive and move forward together.
We also see this kind of teamwork for peace over in Europe. In the UK, scholars and leaders recently met at a peace institute. They're actually having meetings right now to study how to protect society and bring hope back to the people. They're looking for real ways to help everyday citizens feel hope and connection again. It's all about coming together, truly understanding each other's hearts, and making a promise to improve the future. They are literally studying how to take the idea of a simple vow and use it to protect human life on a massive scale.
Section 4. The lesson for you. So, how does all of this connect back to your own daily life?
We've talked about Osaka in the past, traditional woodworkers, South Africa, and the UK. So the crucial point is this big difference right here. A wish is completely passive. You're just sitting there waiting for a good thing to happen to you, hoping someone else will step up and fix the problem. But a vow is active. It is deciding your future right now and working hard for it. You don't wait for the future, you build it today with your own two hands. You become the builder of your own life.
Our sources give us a super clear summary of how to win in life. First, never give up hope, even when things are really, really hard. Just keep moving forward. Second, take the time to understand other people's hearts, just like those woodworkers understand their wood. Listen to people. Talk to them. And third, work together. Don't try to carry the whole world on your shoulders alone. If you can do these three things, a strong promise and a good heart can absolutely turn any bad situation into a win.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. What promise will you make today? You don't have to change the whole world all at once. You can just start by changing your own heart, making a vow, and taking one small step of action in your own community. Think about the people around you who might just need a little bit of hope right now. The strong decision today can create a truly bright tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep your heart bright, and I'll see you next time.